everybody, here I am today with the absolute beautiful Easy, and what I would like to do is talk to you about 5 different things that all dogs and puppies really need to be taught that you may not have thought about teaching. So let's go through my list. The very first one is teaching your dog or puppy how to enjoy having its feet touched and held, so that this can eventually lead into nail trimming where it's stress-free. So very first, for any training or getting your dog used to anything, we need some treats that the dogs absolutely love. I'm really lucky, I've got Houndztooth treats here and the dogs absolutely adore them, and they're all Australian made and all the ingredients are Australian sourced as well. So it ticks the boxes for me, and as you can see, the dogs really love them. So how do we start this? I'm just going to put the treat down. What we do to start with is I just touch the foot, I give them a treat. Good girl. Touch the foot, give them a treat. Touch a toe, give them a treat. Good girlie. Touch the foot, give them a treat. So obviously we've done a fair bit of this with Easy, so she's pretty cool about it. But what you need to do is work within the dog's tolerance. So I don't want the dog upset at any stage. So for some dogs, it may just be a touch and a treat for quite a while. A touch and a treat for the dog. Very nice. Oh, thank you. And a treat. Then once we've got the dog used to having its feet touched, then I can start bringing the nail clippers in, and that would just be a touch and a treat, and a touch and a treat. And I really want to do that before I do too much nail trimming to make them concerned. I want them to enjoy having their nails trimmed. So eventually, what it looks like, we'll use this one. I know I'm putting you off balance, aren't I? You're right, you're on balance? Good girl. So eventually, it would be a nail trim, and, oh, it's coming. There it is. And you want me to do that foot? Okay, I can do that foot. I can do that foot. There you go. What a clever girl. And the other thing I love about the Houndztooth treats is they can break up into any size for your training. So that's going to be tip number 1 that we need to be looking at teaching our young dogs and puppies. Okay, so number 2. Now, number 2 is going to be getting them used to being groomed and bathed. So if they're a puppy, you need to make sure that you select a shampoo that is suitable for a puppy. And what I'm looking for in a shampoo for a puppy is it needs to be very gentle. It needs to be low irritant, because puppy skin can be very sensitive. So Houndztooth have a lovely puppy shampoo here that I use on the puppies. It's fragrance free, and I think that helps puppies a lot too, because often they don't like any sort of smell on them either. So the bathing, I've done a few videos on bathing, so check them out on how I get them used to being bathed. So that's a definite. And then obviously the next one is we want to get them used to being groomed. And the way I do this is, just move the treats out the way there, is I use a grooming spray. Once again, Houndztooth have some awesome products there, all Australian made. And really important when you are grooming, I want to make sure that I'm always using a grooming spray, because it lets the brush go through the coat much easier. But also, it helps the coat a lot. It works as a detangler, and it helps by moisturising the coat as well too. So once again, some treats. I'm just going to get it to stand up there, just working in a small area here. I always tend to groom my dogs up on a table. I just find it easier that way. So what I'm going to do is give them a couple of sprays. What a good girl. What are you doing to me? So I spray them all over. I give them some treats for letting me spray them. And it's important that we get them used to this. Dogs don't just naturally enjoy being groomed. Then I start with a really soft brush, and I'll do a couple of little swipes, and you guessed it, I'm going to give some treats. Couple of swipes, and I give a treat. Very good. And then as the dog gets used to it, I can do a little bit more and a little bit more. I always make sure that I'm very gentle to start with so that they learn to enjoy it. So being groomed is a fact of life for most dogs, especially if you've got a coated dog like Easy here. So I do want to make sure that they really enjoy being groomed. So remember your treats, guys. You can never give them too many treats when you're trying to get them used to doing things so they cooperate with you. I don't want this ever to be a fight. And as you can see, she's pretty cool about it. She just wants to know where her next treat's coming from. So good girl. Very nice. Good. So make sure you get them used to being groomed. I can't say that enough to people. You're going to need to groom this dog for the next 12 to 16 years. You want it to be a pleasant experience. So that's my second tip. Okay, Miss Girl. What about our third? Our third one is one that a lot of people really never think about. So Easy, do you want to drop for me? Good girl. Drop. Yeah, I know. There's enough room on the table for both of us. So the next one is going to be handling your dog around the face. And this, as I said, is one that people generally just don't tend to think about. And it's one that could make a huge difference for your dog for many reasons. So let's think about why we would need to handle a dog around their face and head. If your dog needs any eye trimming, so the hair around the eye, if that needs to be trimmed at any stage for a lot of different breeds, then they're going to need to have their head held very still so scissors can go near the eye and there's no risk of the dog moving. Strangely enough, we're going to use treats to do this as well. So what we need to also think about is what happens if Easy got something in her eye, maybe a grass seed in her eye. If I took her into the vet's, they'd need to hold her still so that they could move instruments around her eye without causing her any harm. And she needs to know how to be held still for that. What happens if her ears, she gets an ear infection and we need to be putting eardrops in her ears, or I just need to be checking her ears? We need to probably hold her head still. You'll find it strange, but dogs really don't naturally like having their heads held still. So this is a totally taught behaviour. So let me show you how I go about this. So what I do to start with is I just put my hand quickly around her muzzle and her head. So just quickly let go, give her a treat. Quickly let go, give her a treat. Quickly let go, give her a treat. Hold on, and a treat. Now what you're going to find over time is that the dog gets more relaxed, and then where I'm heading with this is so that I don't know if you can see properly there, but I can hold her muzzle still, I can hold her head, and I can move her head without her being concerned, and it's nice free motion there. And we'll give her a treat. Wait till she swallows the treat. Once again, I can hold her head. Good girl. What a good girl. So now you can see, if the vet needed to do something with her eye, we've now got a dog that can be held still without feeling concerned. If my dog has something caught in her eye, I want the vet to be able to remove it as quickly as possible, and I don't want my dog stressing about the holding component as well as what they're doing with her eye. So this one could save your dog a lot of stress in the future as well. Is that good? Yes. As you can see, they get to the stage where they don't mind what you do holding their heads, and that is going to make life easy. So you're a very, very good girl. Yes, you are. Yes.